Hi, everyone. It's Linda G. I'm alive. I'm not dead yet. I had to search for this t-shirt. I don't think I've worn it since I had the surgery, and you guys got a kick out of it. So I'm here. Um, and as a lot of thank you. Oh my God, I've gotten over between when my daughter announced what happened to me and when she said everything's fine, probably thousands and thousands. I think it's 3.2 on the first one and 2.8 on the second one. And you guys just give so much love. I can't begin to tell you how much I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I'm just slowly but surely, looking at everybody's comment. But let me tell you what happened. So first of all, I was in Canada in a place called Squamish. There's another way they pronounce it, I think. And I stayed at a suite that was like an apartment. It had washer, dryer, kitchen, full kitchen. It was really nice. Kevin set it up really nice. So apparently Kevin had confirmed 67 people that I was supposed to read, but he put it like 8 people every whatever minutes times 3 a session. So I would have been out of there at noon, which was comfortable. So I'd been having a little problem because, and I almost canceled coming, and Kevin gave me that option because I was so sick up in Gettysburg. But I thought, nah, because I really was looking forward. This Canada trip's been planned forever. Had my passport ready to go. So I get up there, and the first night I missed the festivities because that augment I'm on, the first side effect is the Mississippi two-step. So I was hella Mississippi two-stepping, which I think might have been one of the reasons that I went into this episode. So anyway, and it kind of wipes you out. But the next day I came, did my 3 sessions, had lunch, everything like I told you. I did that little video from the place. Everything is very healthy, and which could have been the problem too. No, I'm just kidding. So the second day, I think I did the first group. I don't remember if I did or not. But what happened was the sweet lady that picked me up to take me into the center, she was my ride. She brought me a nice Frappuccino or one of those with the whipped cream on top. And I was craving something sweet. So I was like, I don't think I drank the whole thing. I think I drank a little bit of it. But that was enough. So I start the session and then I start feeling weird. And I just felt like I was going. And I remember yelling, someone call 911. And this lovely doctor that was there, and she said I could use her name. Hold on one second. Where is she? Rima. She's in the Bay Area, so we're going to have lunch sometime. She said she saw me and saw that I turned white as a ghost. So apparently I passed out. And in my whole life, except when I got hit by a car when I was 8 years old, I've never passed out. And so I've had Syncope, but I've never actually passed out unconscious. So I guess as I headed to the floor, this other lovely lady, nurse was there, and she grabbed my head to make sure I didn't pound on the ground. And they got me down to the floor. And I was only out a few seconds. They said they saw my eyes roll like the exorcist. And maybe the devil was there at the time. The power of Christ will compel you. So I was on the ground, and when I'm waking up, I'm sort of opening my eyes and I'm hearing all this commotion. I'm like, yeah, what's up? Where's the party? And they're all looking at me. And Rima I think she had an ice pack to the back of my neck, and she was really talking to me. And I think she said I sort of tried to sit up and they were trying to tell me, now just wait a second, wait a second. And I was like, no, I'm ready to keep going. Because I was thinking 67 people I've got to get to. So she and then I had to go pee and I didn't want to pee my pants. So I was able to get up. Oh, but I got to tell you, before I actually got up, I said sugar because I could tell I was in some sort of diabetic thing. And there's Kevin. Kevin was so scared. In fact, those of you who don't know, Kevin, the healer, um, he's on YouTube. I had him in San Francisco when we did our thing, and the look on his face, and he was holding a lollipop. And I remember I wanted that lollipop. I'm like, give me, I'm reaching out, give me. So I got the lollipop in my mouth, which, believe it or not, the sugar in that helped me even more. So I was able to get up and go pee, and they had called 911. They said no, because my pulse was really thready and they didn't feel comfortable with it. So they told me some stories. The next day I went to have lunch there and they were telling me some stories. Apparently, when the paramedics came, they said, and Canada's very laid back, by the way. They said, ma'am, do you have any allergies? I said, yeah, to broke men. I don't remember saying that. I said that. She said, yeah, we was all busted up. We was busting out. I guess I was coming up with the one-liners. I know when Kevin got my driver's license to show them, and he was putting it back in my Gucci purse, I said, don't look at my weight. Don't look. I mean, I was rallied right there. So anyway, I walked with the paramedics down to the thing. I didn't need no gurney or nothing. And the other thing I worried about was, when I crashed, was my stomach held in and were my toes pointed, because we do have to maintain a sort of look. So they take me to the hospital. Apparently that ride's going to cost me about $85 American. Can you believe it? So I go in and I register and they said, well, we need a credit card. It will probably take anywhere from 13 to 1500. And I said, that's how much it is for the visit. They said, yeah, pretty close. Might be a little more. So I was like, damn. I mean, $2,000 alone would have gone to the ambulance out here. So they were going to set me down and wait for the doctor to see me. But they said, let's do an EEG real quick. Let's just see what's going on. And I was in atrial fib. Take her to a room. So I had to go in a room and they did a formal EKG. Yeah, she's in atrial fib. But it was like, I haven't been in atrial fib, I think, right after my sons were born. I know I was still working at my hospital. And at that time, my heart rate was about 120. No, 210, 220. And I could feel it. And I remember after they were going to zap me, but I said, get me a commode. And I got up on the commode, and when you bear down, it helps reverse it, and it did. So this time I'm thinking I'm going to have to tell them, get me a commode, but there's another drug they were able to use that they put in my IV. And I think within minutes, I went back to normal sinus rhythm. They were all looking, oh my God. But I never knew I was in AFib. I never even felt switching to normal sinus. It was very comfortable. And so she wanted to do a chest x-ray and they did a bunch of blood. So I probably was there about 3 hours total. Then I took a cab. By the way, the cab was filthy. Oh my God. But he was a nice guy and I tipped him well. So I was able to get back. But here's the thing the doctor said to me, with instructions, okay, when you get back, I have an appointment on Monday to see my doctor. You're going to, because today's a holiday, you're going to ask your doctor for electrocardiogram and this and that. You need this and that. They were very serious about what's going on. They don't realize, I have 2 stents in my heart. I haven't had a heart attack, but I have 2 stents in my heart. And my HMO, and my sister was talking about this too. My sister has ongoing atrial fib issues. And my dear friend died of atrial fib. But I don't have a cardiologist, and neither does she. I don't know if they just feel like it's not worth it, or they just don't have enough cardiologists. But anyway, so when I was in the hospital too, at first they said, I've been drinking a lot of bottles of this Kool-Aid looking stuff, but it's an IV supplement. And it's got a lot of stuff in it. I'm going to look it up. Apparently, you're not. I was drinking that every time I had a bottle of water. So that people were saying that's probably what happened. You probably have this drug or that drug in it that caused this. So when my daughter talked to me, I said, well, they're thinking it's those things I take in my water, but we'll find out. So she posted that it was that. I'm going to tell you, no, it wasn't that. They're finding out now, although they don't recommend me doing it, and I have to talk to the doctor about that. But I went Kevin and his mom, because Kevin Loving and his mom recommended it, but they have flavored stuff you can put. And I may be able to do one a day, but I can't be doing like I was doing because it's got a stimulant in it or something. So I wanted to get that out of the way. But I'm going to tell you what happened to me. And she believes it too, the doctor. I had that sugary drink and so does so does Rima. She feels the same thing. And I've been having, the Mississippi two-step. So my blood sugar probably went through the roof. And then it dropped, and it dropped hard. And when you don't get glucose to the brain, you are out. So that was probably what happened. Is the glucose drop was so significant, because I'm just yelling, call 911. I just remember saying, call 911, because I knew something bad was happening to me. And then boom. And then there's issues where it's very common that you can go into atrial fib because you're all off balance. So by the way, when I was leaving the doctor in Canada, by the way, very nice, fleet people. The ER I used to work in a dump. It was not fancy, but at least they had good staff. But she said, Linda, I don't want you to have any coffee until you see your doctor on Monday. What? She said, yes, I'd rather you not have a stimulant. I only have 1 cup a day. I know. I said, do you realize I live for that 1 cup a day? I said, you know what? Forget about it. Put me on hospice. So, yeah, I had a cup this morning. I feel great. And also on the flight back, I had a bag of chocolate chip cookies from United and a ginger ale. I felt so good. I guess I was just missing sugar. But I used to carry around those glucose tablets, back in the day. And you know what? I ordered some more. I'm going to make sure I have, because maybe if I had had a glucose tablet, I'd shoot down one of those that have been okay. So, yeah, I just went down, you guys. I guess it was scary for everybody. And poor Kevin, he was looking so scared. I had quite the crowd. I said, well, you know me, I like to make an entrance. But everybody there was so kind. People were so cool. People were checking up on me. And then you guys started writing me, and it was beautiful. And people were finding out left and right. Oh, Annette, who I'm going to do a show with her this month. We just haven't picked a date. She was reading a client she hadn't read in a while, who knows who I am, and told her, did you hear about Linda? She says, what? So she got a hold of me. She goes, what the hell's going on? I said, girl, it's like I feel so good. I'm ashamed of anybody making too much of a fuss, because I really do feel good. But, I'll still take care of myself. So now I got to tell you what happened with the limo driver going back to the airport. And this wasn't a cheap limo ride, but it was a beautiful car. And it was this nice Indian man, very well dressed. He very professional. I get in the car and he's making polite conversation, but I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, couldn't go back to sleep, so I was seeing dead people. And he said to me, "So I understand that your president, Donald Trump, has really helped your country." I busted out laughing. I said, "You got to be kidding me. Are you serious?" He said, "Well, that's what I'm hearing. I don't know myself." I said, "Well, it's not true." I said, "You're talking about a 34 count felon, pedo, um, started a war, doesn't believe in the Constitution, self ego, diaper wearing, no mind. And you're going to tell me he's done a lot for this country?" He says, "Well, that's what some of my clients are saying." I said, "Well, they're maggots. That's why they're telling me this. They have a right to their opinion, but don't say he's helping this country." He says, "Well, I saw the liberals. They go into the fast food places and they're wearing those big guns across their back. That's not liberals. Those are rednecks." I said, "Yeah, and they usually don't wear a shirt and they have huge guts. That's not liberals. Those are MAGAs wearing a big old huge gun in a fast food restaurant, trying to act like king for a day." And then he said, "Well, the other thing I'm hearing he's really helped with the illegals." I said, "Google it. Google how many illegals Obama got out, and Google how many Biden got out. The numbers are way higher with them, and they didn't have to kill Americans, and they didn't separate children. They did it the right way. And this guy, he's killed children. He's sending people, innocent people and Americans, to different countries. And he hasn't even done nearly the amount that Obama and Biden has done." So I gave him a little lesson. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but he was really nice. I tipped him good. He was nice, but he seemed very confused. Maybe I was the first, but in that part, although I heard that there's some people that like Trump there, but I don't know if people get the whole information, is what I'm saying. So anyway, well, we have just a few things to look at, and then tomorrow I'm going to be on with Andre, and then I think next Tuesday, I'm on with Ness. Then I have Violetta at the end of the week. Okay. I want to look at what's going to happen to Donald Trump when he's sitting in 107 degrees making a huge speech. Is he going to be able to make it? 107. Well, they'll have fans or some sort of cooling thing on him. I can see that right now. They're going to be blowing something on him. So he won't be affected by the heat like those people who are allegedly supposed to stand out there and listen to him. They closed his little carnival that he was having. They said because of the heat. Yeah, whatever. It's hot in New York. It's 100 or something, but my friend Dan in New Jersey, it's like 103 today. That's hot. Tell me about Donald. And they keep mentioning all these other presidents that died on the 4th of July. Do we dare to wish? Okay. Well, it's weird. It starts off with the 10 cups like a celebration, and then disappointment. Somebody showed they had an article of people they're going to pay to come and fill seats and do stuff like that. $1,000. Ooh, the tower. God speaking. Reversed on um, I don't know, you guys. This isn't showing it going peachy. There might be something that's upsetting. I didn't turn this off. Sorry, you guys. You know, I'm going to tell you a hit I got today when I was getting ready. I got a hit that um New York. I could feel New York. And I don't know if somebody's going to try to pull a fast one on the wedding that's taking place or on some event, but New York feels like it'll get hit. I don't see mass death or anything like that, but I feel a hit in New York. I've always felt New York in trouble. But there's plans. And it couldn't be the FBI because they don't like Travis. And I just went blank on her name. Sorry, you guys, it's still a little foggy. Taylor Swift, that they are not going to hustle, although she's going to have a lot of private people taking care of business. Ooh, that's a bruise. I see her, they're really going to have to keep away some drama. That's what I'm getting. Tell me about the president. Tell me about the president. Is he going to be okay? He really wants to come out of NATO. I can hear him talking to people saying, we don't need to be in NATO. Bad move if he does it. Yeah, thank you. They just said he's not honest. Yeah. He is being upset by the fact that he can't fill in a room. People just aren't interested in hearing him talk. I think there'll be paramedics, and it feels like it's the people in the audience. Um, Something's going to happen. He's getting ready to have an issue, and that's coming up real soon. But this, I don't know. I'm feeling those cooling things on him. And the other thing is he can't make a speech. He's very boring. He wants all media to cover this, but I see media coming away because he just keeps lying. Um, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson. John Adams just told me he's not doing very well at all. He's going to struggle a little bit. I don't think he's going to do as long as the speechless, he said, and I feel him struggling heat-wise. But we can't wish for bad. We're not supposed to wish for bad. Let's look how Kelsey and Taylor's wedding goes. I think they're getting married tomorrow. And there's a World Cup down there too. I don't follow the World Cup at all. There's something's frightened with them. Something may happen or an attempt or something. They're both really looking forward to this, spending tons of money. Did you see all the money she donated to Dolly Parton's $2 million? How can you talk trash about these people? Like they got a lot of security, that's for sure. But look at something is in the environment that might make it a little touchy. It's almost like they have to keep looking. They're a little frightened, but they get through it. They get through it. I see her having a baby. I don't know when, but I see a baby coming. She's looking forward to it. So there was something else I wanted to talk about. Um, Jack Smith. Did you see him on Nicole Wallace? I taped that while I was flying, so when I got home, first thing I did was put it on. He looks very good. He looks a lot calmer. And what a down to earth, grounded human being. Um, he speaks the facts. Nicole did a good interview. Jack Smith, are you going to be okay? I worry about him. And he's right. The Department of Justice, nobody trusts them anymore. And did you see Blanche refuse to give over any more information to that judge about Trump and his Epstein stuff? He's got a little upset coming up. He knows he wants to arrest him, but I'm telling you, nothing's going to happen. Even if he does, it's a nothing burger. Ooh. The tower and the death card. I wonder if he has to get out of Dodge. He's talking the truth. Yeah, see, here's a move. I think there are just too many threats against him, and he decides to move, but the outcome is good. He's going to be okay. So I don't want you guys to worry. Okay. So I set up the fund. It's called wow. It's for the support for Major Jason Watson, Stand Up for Democracy. He was arrested for standing there on the Capitol steps saying impeach, convict, remove. What a brave man. And I'm glad he did it. He knew it was going to start trouble because now there's over 190,000 that they've already collected. I did give some money. And then I'm hearing psychically all kinds of attorneys wanting to take his case because they know it'll make them famous. And I just really feel that they should have never arrested him in the first place. But let's double check. They'll try to give him a dishonorable discharge. I can see Hedgehog doing all that ugly stuff. He's going to be, especially after this Hedgehog is gone and Trump is gone, this guy will get full honors. Tell me what I can tell everybody about Major Jason Watson. Went up there and all clad out in his uniform. Tell me how he's going to be. The world acknowledges what a brave man he is. He's a little bit tied up, but not for long. It'll turn around. Look at swiftness. Bada bing, bada boom. If it was up to this president and Hedgehog, they would try to destroy him. They're going to try to think of ways to destroy him, but it's not going to work because he rides out on his horse of success. Look at this. He's going to rake really well. So his braveness, and he didn't do this to make money or anything, but his braveness will help change things. And I see more military following behind him. So that's cool. Okay. And then I want to look at Mitch. Mitch is near, the Kentucky Mitch, the turtle. He's near death, but I don't feel he's dead yet. And yeah, they're afraid what's going to happen. But here's the other thing. I don't see him making it till the end of his term. And I don't see them being able to hide it. But I don't see who he wants in there because I see maybe even somebody like Thomas Massey or a Democrat because I don't see somebody that's like Mitch. But let's double check it. I mean, the last time he ran, he had a 22% approval rating and he still won. I think something's up with Kentucky. I think he tried to change the rules, like they couldn't get anybody in there unless they were Republican. I know whatever he did, the governor said, yeah, whatever. But I feel he's still alive. Right now, he's still alive. But he could be in a coma life. He could be on life support. Jesus, everybody's going to celebrate when he's gone. A lot of communication going on. Everybody's waiting to hear the news, like with 47. Everybody's just waiting with a bated breath. I don't see his wife around him much anymore. I don't know. She went to China and she's visiting family, but I see her coming back now, or she's around him now, but she wasn't around. She doing her thing. So, but Mitch, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is still with us. So Blanche refusing to turn over the court order to release the Epstein files after Katie Fang's lawsuit proves beyond a reasonable doubt that Trump is guilty. But let's see what happens with that. And God bless Aspen, Colorado. They're having terrible fire. God bless. Yeah, he can't do it. He's stuck. He's not going to be the permanent AOG or AG, AOG. He's not going to be the permanent one. He'd love to, but he's not. And whoever's coming up also with that crazy guy that's in there that's firing all these people, I don't see him getting in either. They can fire what they want to do, but they'll all be back. Okay, so tell me, Angel, Bob Blank. And also, I see, including Hedgehog, I see everybody with this attitude that, well, Trump will pardon us, so Trump will make sure we're okay. We can do what we want. Blanche is stuck. He can't do anything because his master says no. God bless you, Katie Fang. Ooh, so some process will happen. They're going to be fighting this in court, you guys. Yeah, it's actually going to be quite a shock because they're going to threaten him. They're going to threaten Blanche. But he's like, I don't have to listen to you. I'm with the President of the United States. This is a real, who's really the most powerful, but Trump's not the king. He's the president. He's supposed to guard the Constitution. He's not supposed to walk all over it. So I'm looking so forward. And I think I told you guys that blonde girl that hangs around Trump apparently adores him. I call her the diaper queen. I really felt Trump, like they're on a trip to the golf course. She plays golf with him. I see he knows she adores him, and he's just happy to have somebody adore him because everybody else hates him. But I don't see he really cares about her. And he can't get his mushroom functioning. He's beyond all that, unless he takes some drug to help it. And they said, don't do that because it'll kill your heart. You're at death's door anyway. So, but I could just tell but when he's around her, he doesn't seem thrilled to be around her. That's what I feel. He's more thrilled with Melania, even though he was never loyal to her. So you guys, I'm gonna keep this short. I'll be back tomorrow with Andre, and I will catch you guys all weekend because I'm home now. So we can get going. We can talk shop. Okay, hopefully we get some news. All right. I just saw an explosion. Again, I always see explosion. Zelensky's going to win, but Russia hit spots that only hurt civilians. He just likes to be cruel. But they're chasing after him. I'm telling you, this guy's going. Okay, love you all. Cheers.